Well, that worked.
Yeah,
That worked.
yeah. That's just a small fix for now because I'm not giving into these evil corporations that charge you ludicrous amounts of money just to do small things. What is up,
Yeah.
everybody? I'm the Osnator. Welcome back to another Alien Roundtable. This week we're doing the Alien Earth Roundtable. At least the first two episodes. We'll be doing it throughout the whole show. Uh, oh my god, I had my stream playing in the background. I That gave me a jump scare right there. Anywho, Alien Earth Roundtable episodes 1 and 2. I'm gonna go around the panel, let everybody know where they can find themselves at. We'll start off with Shifty to my right. Where can they find you at, sir?
Oh, they can find me right here. I don't want to take too much time up because we're late. We'll do it at the end of the show.
All right, fair enough. Danny, where can they find you at, sir?
You can find me on my channel, The Road to Wisdom, Mondays and Fridays. Also on Onzo's show, sometimes OC. Also, you can find me on Storms Live tomorrow at 8 p.m. and on the Hangout on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. as well.
All right, good shit, good shit. Onzo, Big Ford Entertainment, where can they find you at, sir?
Exactly where you said, Bigger Ford Entertainment. I'm like Shifty. Thanks for the invite, though. Appreciate it.
All right, good stuff. No problem, no problem. And you can find me here. I'm gonna be very quick as well because well, there's another person that was gonna be here, but unfortunately, we don't know where he is. So he'll show up when he shows up. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Gosh darn you. All right, Alien Earth. We're gonna get into our overall thoughts. I'm gonna start with. You know what? I'm gonna start with Anzo. Anzo, what are your overall thoughts on Alien Earth?
Overall thoughts, like I said on my stream the other night, I thought it was good. I thought it was a really good start. I did have some issues with it. I thought the first half of episode one was a little bit slow, but other than that, it was. I liked that it felt like each episode kind of felt like a movie, so I liked that. I thought it was good. Good start.
All right, very good, very good. Danny, overall thoughts.
I'm gonna piggyback what Onzo said. I thought the first 30 minutes was like, "Woof! If this don't pick up, we're gonna be in trouble." Um, but I like very interested in seeing the next episode. I'm only really invested in two characters. That's Wendy and the Timothy Oliphant character. The rest of them, I haven't gotten there yet. But overall, it's a good show.
All right, good stuff, good stuff. Shifty, overall thoughts.
I've been waiting on this for 5 years. They announced it back in 2020, and we had to wait because actually it got canceled at one point before they started production, and then it got re-greenlit after the Disney bought Fox. So it finally got here 5 years later. This is everything Romulus should have been. Great story, interesting characters that seem to be like they're going to be well developed. Tons of world building, awesome action scenes. Does more for the xenomorphs since anything in decades outside of the video game Alien Isolation and making it actually scary again. This thing isn't around just for being target practice like it was in Alien Romulus. Great pacing, I thought, and fanboy moments that don't rely on cheap callbacks. I'm not happy with Noah Hawley tossing out prequel canon with a little thing he did there at the beginning. But he seems to have nailed it, just like he did with every season he worked on of Fargo and of Legion, which was that really good X-Men show that he did on FX a while back.
So since you're like the alien expert, Shifty, at least on the panel, anyways, I got a question for you because we had the discussion when we were talking on my stream. Like, how does a queen come about? Do they ever explain
Okay.
that, or
Uh, Kinda. See, the first queen was supposedly birthed from the space jockey on LV-426, the that was sitting in that chair. Usually, from what I've read in like on Wiki and stuff, through the comic books, the facehugger has two different types of embryo that it can lay. It can either lay a queen or a just a regular alien warrior. but they have like a hive mind. Everything does the alien warriors, the face huggers, everything. They're all connected together. So if they don't sense a queen anywhere, they'll lay an embryo for one so it can start a hive.
Okay, I got you.
I think that's pretty much the conclusion we came up with. Like,
Yeah,
if there's not one close by, because I remember correctly in Alien versus Predator, once she was about to be released, she growled or something. Then they stopped the attack, came back, and then that's when two or three of the xenomorph warriors killed the other one, so the acid blood could melt the chains around the queen's neck.
yeah.
So the queen has some kind of telepathic or something kind of connection with them that she can control them and have them do
And
her
and
will.
we and
I
we may
remember
be
that.
seeing part of we may be seeing part of that on here on Alien Earth because Wendy can hear something, that clicking noise.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so they may tie that into a queen or something.
Hmm,
Kind of what I
possible.
thought. Kind of what I thought. I thought that I don't know if we will get a queen in this, but I thought that maybe we might see one, right? So
Uh-huh. I mean, well, I don't know. There's got to be one because I don't know how all those eggs got there.
I think
Uh,
they went to the place where they were at and
and
and,
just
and
stole the
stole them.
eggs. Yeah,
well, it might have been, but I don't know. You would think they would have had. Well, they did have it contained with that blue mist. Okay.
they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I think. I think they went to each planet. They stole 5 or 6 of those eggs, or however many number they got. I think they went to the place with the thing hanging, the fruit, and took that. I think they went to the planet where the eye thing is at and grabbed that one. I think they went to the planet where the slug things are at and took that. That's what's taking so long with this trip. In some kind of way, the Asian lady, I don't know how she got this knowledge, but she sent that ship out there to do that.
Hmm.
That's my theory.
I agree.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. My overall thoughts now, over the past month, I watched the Alien movies for the first time, for good and worst. Last week we watched Romulus. I thought Romulus was just okay. Like, it's not great, but it wasn't like the worst thing ever. And when I heard about Alien Earth, I'm like, okay, this could be interesting. Um, but then because I'm thinking under this pretense of like, okay, Predator had a big resurgence with their last two projects, and Predator Badlands is coming out. So Alien kind of had like a resurgence with Alien Romulus, but it was like for the casual audience, it was like, oh my god, the alien's back. But for the hardcore fans, they're almost like, it's kinda. But the first two episodes of Alien Earth, I have to say, I was very impressed. By the end of the second episode, I was like, God damn it, I gotta wait another week. I was like, shit. Like they had to leave off on something so interesting that now I'm waiting for next week, which is something that a show should do. But I'll get into more stuff in my positives and negatives because
Can I mention something? I was on Twitter today, and there you wouldn't believe the amount of people that calls Alien Romulus a masterpiece. They always
Yeah.
quote the tomato meter and all that stuff, but there's people that actually are in droves calling that movie a masterpiece, like one of the greatest alien movies ever. I don't understand that. I just don't get it. It's good, but it's not great. It's not anywhere near the first two. I just don't. It's not a masterpiece. No,
Which one are they calling a masterpiece?
the one that came out last year,
Oh,
Romulus.
Romulus? Really?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
not
All
good.
over Twitter. That's another example of how Twitter can't be real.
I
Agreed.
think I think if it's your first Alien movie, then you
Yeah.
might think it is. But if you're someone who's watched all of them and you watch Romulus, you're like it's okay, but what? There's nothing special about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, these first 2 episodes of Earth clear Alien Romulus by a mile.
Agreed.
And that's not saying much.
Agreed. I can agree with that.
Because, I'll piggyback off of what Shifty said real quick, is that they don't overly use the callbacks to drag it out. Like, I like that the story they're going with is very interesting. And the Xenomorph, boy, I can't, that's going to be my positives, because my goodness, oh, man.
The only thing I say, and it'll probably be one of my negatives, but I'll say I kind of felt like the Xenomorph looked a little bit like a robot at some points, and I was like, you know what I mean? I was like,
yeah.
And I tell you why, because back in the all the way up through through the 90s, they always referred to the alien as having a biomechanical look to it. So I think Noah Hawley kind of like mechanical, but he forgot the bio in front of the mechanical, and he made it a little bit too robotic.
I got you.
And he made some changes to this alien. He changed the shape of the teeth, and he also downsized the dorsal fins on the back because the guy in the suit's much broader and not as tall, and he wanted to have the alien run around on all fours. So he shrunk the dorsal fins on the back of this alien. It looks kind of weird, but he's moving around like a freaking panther, so I dig it.
I got you.
Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Lord.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. Here he comes.
Oh,
Lord. The man, the myth, the legend, super, super late, Chris Knight.
Thought we were going to be able to get away with it, Danny?
I did too.
Gosh darn it, Chris. Can you hear us,
muted?
Chris? No, he's not muted. I don't know if he's talking or not.
The universe.
He's probably muted. Hold on, he someone in the private chat. But he said
Hold on.
He said hold on. So, while we're waiting for Chris, we can do our
better get all your points in now, buddy.
Yeah, we might be quick. We need to be like really fast here before Chris comes in. Danny, I'll let you start first. What are your positives, sir?
Oh man, this show is good. I really like to give us at least an hour episode.
Facts.
To really get into it. I hope other shows will do this as well. I really like Timothy Oliphant's character. I'm fully vested in Wendy. I like the connection she got with her brother. Even though a little trillionaire boy gets on my nerve, he is, I guess you can call him a protagonist other than the actual aliens, I guess. I like that we got more than just a xenomorph because I'm very curious about what those other things are. And we still haven't seen that 5th one. They got 5 different creatures or monsters or whatever, specimens, I guess you can call it. And then that black cyborg, man, he is something, man. I think he can compete with the Terminator. So it got a lot of different things. It's not just one thing. It's a lot of different things, but it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely going in the right direction. Because that's first 30 minutes, I was about to say, well, it's enough of this, but I'm glad I hung in there, and it's pretty good. I'm definitely waiting till next Thursday to see they're going to continue it.
Very good, very good. All right, Chris, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good.
Unfortunately.
Shut up. Oh my God. See, you guys talked about me. You kept talking about me. You sent me texts and stuff. If you didn't think I was going to show up, then you're wrong.
We said his name 3 times.
I know.
Yeah.
I just got home. Saturday nights have been crazy for me with my business lately. So I got here and I'm like, oh fuck, I got to do this. And I was like, God, just time. Not enough of it. Okay. Has everybody else gone overall yet?
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
We're starting our positives now. So what I'm gonna do is, Chris, just very quickly tell everybody where they can find you at, and then give us your overall thoughts and then your positives.
All right. Real Review 3000, Chaos Central, sometimes over on Danny's channel, or Road to Wisdom, sometimes over on Hanzo's channel, Bigger Ford Entertainment. Here, there, and everywhere. Hanstar YT. Of course, we do the weekly wrap up, which we'll be doing tomorrow, and all of that fun stuff. Overall thoughts. I think it sets a pretty good tone for this series. I get a lot of feelings like there's a lot of care for the original Alien films in this, but at the same time, I think there's some things I guess, gloss over. I like that this has the same feel as almost a movie. Like they didn't make it too much like a TV show. Like I don't know how to put it, but like Stargate, for instance, when I watched the movie, big, grand, and then when I started watching the TV series, it's like I could just feel the difference between it. I think this one does a little better of not feeling like a television show, and of course, it's on a streaming service, so that's probably why. The creature work in this is pretty darn good. I think it's imaginative. The tick like parasites, it's interesting. But I mean, that's just some of what I think. Let's see your likes. Again, I think it's pretty faithful to the original Alien movies. It feels kind of like Ridley Scott, so it has a lot of that kind of vibe going on. It's gritty. It's the ship interiors feel about the same. It's nice, cramped, interiors. The crew kind of reminds me of that, the bantering and all that between them. Trying to think. Again, I think that the tick like aliens in this, that's definitely different. And I like the fresh take on something like that. I think it's really interesting. And I don't know, it's like the difference between Facehugger and the Xenomorphs. It just adds another thing, like, oh great, now I got to worry about this, like the worms in Prometheus. It's just, oh great, now I got to worry about that. It's, this is really interesting to add something else to it. I think Wendy's an interesting character. The fact that the hybrid side of that, her character, interesting. Right now it's a like. I don't know if that's going to continue that way. I don't know. I think really when you're talking about the first two episodes going on, we're talking about the first two episodes in a total, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I would say this about these first two episodes. When you cannot make me worry about a series, I'm not completely worried about this. Everything they did is not, it didn't do anything to hurt the series yet. But I don't know. I still, like I said, the biggest thing I like about this is the aesthetics and the look of it, the sound design, all of that. I think it's still a little early to fully kind of comprehend how the crew and the characters are all going to come together. I like the change in, like I said, the new alien. So those are the big likes for me.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Anzo, your positives.
I got a quick question for Shifty, if you don't mind, Anzo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wasn't there? We were talking last night, and correct me if I'm wrong. When the facehugger attaches to a human or whatever animal or whatever, doesn't that particular xenomorph take up characteristics of whatever animal it incubates in? Yes. There was an episode or a movie where he did it to a dog. The facehugger got on a dog.
Alien 3.
And the xenomorph was more dog-like.
Yes.
To me,
that was not. Go ahead.
To me, this xenomorph doesn't seem like the human. It's like something is mixed with it. It's moving more
Yeah,
like a dog or animal or something more
a
human.
panther kind of.
So
again, that was something that was brought up in 3. I don't think that was ever the intention per se, because if that was the original intention in Aliens, they probably would have put in quirks of the characters, that way you could tell which one was which.
Well, I think it was originally brought up in the comics, and it carried over to like the toys,
Yes.
and then it carried over to Alien 3, and then it carried over to the AVP film. So it's basically canon now.
It's there. I mean,
yeah.
it's that's so yes, and yeah, I think it's maybe that's part of it, is that we don't know what it is yet or where it came from yet, and we're gonna
Well, I mean,
find out maybe.
Even in the prequels, they said that the black goo it attaches itself to the DNA and heightens it and stuff. So even
Oh
before
yeah,
it
the
even
worms.
goes through, yeah.
all right, that's what I need. Thank you, appreciate it. Hanzo.
Gotcha. Yeah, so for me, my positives, I agree with all you guys. I like the way um the the alien kind of moved. Like I said, it kind of looked a little bit roboty, but I didn't have a problem with that. I thought it was really well done. I loved the camouflage stuff. Like you would see in the background, and then next thing you know, it moves, and it's like, oh, it was hiding there. I love that they did that twice in I think it was the second episode, and I thought it was really cool. I thought that was tight. I personally feel like I'm more interested in those other creatures that are around there than the xenomorph right now. And not because, probably because, we've seen a bunch of alien movies, but they introduce creatures in there where I was like, oh, like the worms that suck your blood, and then you have the eyeball, and then the plant or whatever that is hanging from the ceiling, which I think is going to turn into something else. I have no idea. And the fact that there's still one more that we haven't even seen yet, right? So I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, okay, I can't wait to see what they do with that. Not to mention, I'm questioning whether, are any of those creatures going to fight the xenomorph, or is the xenomorph going to have to kill some of them? Or, like maybe one of them connects with the xenomorphs and, it mutates into something else. It'd definitely be interesting if they do something like that. So I loved that. I thought Wendy was a good character. I do have an issue, which I'll get to in my negatives, about the hybrids, but the action was on point, man. Like certain scenes where the cat had the eye, and where the xenomorph is killing everybody in the party room. I thought that was cool too. So there was a lot of positives that I really liked in it. I thought it did a good job for the first 2 episodes for opening up. Like Danny said, after you get past those first 30 minutes of it, it gets really good. So I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
All right, very good, very good. And I think we lost Chris. Oh, you'll be right back.
Yeah.
Shifty, your positives.
Okay, before I get to that, I got a couple of answers. Chris was worried about this show, kind of. Well, he says he wasn't worried about it, but I think there is some. You gotta take this into account. Legion, from the same guy that made this, was very weird. There were like musical episodes. Fargo, not so much, but this has some like dream sequences and stuff, and some. I don't know. There may be one really weird episode out of these 8, so prepare
Mm-hmm.
yourself. He may do something we may not like. The length of the episodes, Danny mentioned. Yeah, this is a broadcast show that they just have on streaming. This is the same channel that gave us like an hour and a half episodes of Sons of Anarchy, and Fargo, from the same guy. He used to do like an hour and a half episodes of Fargo. So some of these episodes may run like well over an hour. So hopefully they do that. And Anzo, if you remember back in one of the teaser trailers, when they showed the ship crashing, there was like a winged creature like flying around the ship. So either that's the fifth monster or that's what's in that hanging cocoon thing.
Mm,
So we'll have to
mm.
see. We'll have to see. Hopefully, the fifth creature is a predator or something, because there's rumors. We'll have to see. As far as likes, I love the retro computer font in the intro and the creepy title sequence that harken back to the first film. Then they bring back even more alien vibes, but instead of cheap callbacks, they use it to tell us about the various corporations controlling the Earth and colonies in space, like on Mars and stuff. That was really neat. Not only that, hold on. I scrolled down on my notes. Where am I? Here we go. Oh, here we are, right here. Not only that, but they are able to introduce a villain, Mr. Tang, in the same conversation, and then toss a bit of real world politics with a short argument over conspiracy theories. They do all of that in like 3 minutes. It was so good. A lot of info dumped in a short amount of time, and it's not overwhelming. The hybrid story is great. Cindy Chandler, daughter of Kyle Chandler, who's going to play Hal Jordan in the Lanners show, kills it as Wendy. Also, this is apparently her first role ever, so she's doing a really good job. Alex Lawther is great as her brother Joe. The dude played Nemec in Andor. Really good show. I want.
Absolutely not.
Oh my god.
I actually want that guy to play Nightcrawler in the MCU. I think he's got the right.
Now that you told me he was in Andor, that's the reason why I didn't like his character. I knew it.
Oh,
I knew there was a reason.
I want him to play Nightcrawler in the MCU. I think he's got the right look for it.
I think
their
that's
dad-
the best take Shifty has had in a long time. Just gonna
Oh my
say, I
God.
think that was a great
I
take.
think I like you better when you were muted.
Me too.
You know what?
their
I'm going to
dad-
third that.
The haters,
They're
right? Shifty, they're all haters.
they're all haters.
And a quick point,
their
what you were
dad-
saying, Shifty, the Predator's born live. I just looked it up. So that ain't a Predator hanging off that thing.
You said what, Danny?
Oh yeah, no.
The Predators are born live.
Oh.
So that
No.
thing hangs from the tree.
I was saying that it's maybe that flying creature's in that thing hanging from the tree, and the fifth creature in containment
Is a
somewhere,
predator.
or it may have escaped. Yeah, maybe that would be neat. Their dad in the flashback sequence was Noah Hawley, the guy that's writing and creating the show. Morrow, the cyborg, awesome character so far.
Agreed.
Mysterious character. Really like him. So much story dumped on us in these two eps. This is the Alien I like. It reminds me of prequels in a way, because that was so much story in those. Not so much in Romulus. I still don't get where people call that a masterpiece. I love the camera panning during the transition scene for the Lost Boys,
Me
where
too.
everybody was. Yeah, that was really good. Also, I like the camera shot when Joe's watching the television and it pans over to where their kids in the next room and it pans back. That was really good. Fantastic score all throughout both episodes, and ending episode 2 of Tool's Stinkfist. That was a nice touch. I like that. The ship crash and the trip to the crash site was really good. They filmed this in Thailand, and man, it looks great. It's like unique visuals and stuff there. Really good stuff. I really dug this because I was a big fan of Legion, and I'm a big X-Men fan too. And there's definite X-Men vibes with the Lost Boys. He's bringing into it, because he worked on Legion, and Timothy Oliphant kind of reminds me of a cross between Cable and Roy Batty from Blade Runner.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah. So he's running around with a bunch of kids. They're like the X-Men or X-Force. That's cool. A lot of people were on Twitter were like, "Why are they sending kids in to do something like that? So dangerous." And I'm like, "They're the X-Men. They're super powered. Didn't you see that girl jump off the cliffs on the beach? I mean, she's got heightened senses and stuff. I mean, they're basically the X-Men." I like the kids how they're reacting. Even though they're in grown up bodies, they're still reacting like kids. Like that one dude was like, "Monster, monster," and the other one's like, "Oh, there was a bear here."
That's
cool
what
stuff.
I don't like.
Oh, come on. Oh,
Yeah,
come on. It's great.
Yeah.
The dinner party scene. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, that
It's another
xenomorph ran in there and shit.
that's another negative for me, but I'll tell you why though.
Why?
Not because the
Oh,
scene was
yeah. Okay.
bad, but I'll tell you when I get to it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I really dug that. I was on the edge of my chair. I was like, yeah. Uh, man, I kind of wish this was actually the movie we got last year. I don't go to the movies much anymore, but man, this is what I would have liked from an Alien movie because there was hardly any reactions in the audience when I went to see Romulus, and this I think would have got a lot of cheers and stuff, especially from that dinner party, a massacre. The body bag gun was cool. He just shot that gook out, and it was like it was like man. Oh, goop, goop. He shot that stuff out, and it was man. It was yeah. I'm sorry about that. And he shot that stuff out, and it was man. That was cool. That was cool, man. That's something they just added to the lore right there. Body bag gun, and yeah, that's all I got. I mean, I love it so far. It's great.
Very good, very good. All right, here are my positives. First of all, I'm glad that these episodes are 50 minutes to an hour. And I hope that they remain to that same consistent runtime because I'm going to go back to these Disney Plus shows real quick. A lot of the problems with those shows are that the runtimes are very inconsistent. Like 1 week you'll get like a 40, 50-minute episode, and the next week you get 30 minutes. It's like or like vice versa. Like 1 week it'll be like very lengthy, the next week it's going to be very short. If you keep to the 50-minute to an hour runtime, it's great because with the amount of stuff that you're introducing already into the show, you kind of have to have a lot of time on your hands to really develop things. I like the cameo of the greatest animated movie of all time, Ice Age. No, I'm just kidding. But I just want to throw that out there. But no, it's again, it has plot convenience, but it was I thought that was that was a very interesting take. There's one specific part of that whole part of the sequence where the xenomorph grabs the soldier and the soldiers like start to spray bullets everywhere. Admittedly, I don't know why, I just really I laughed really hard at that. Not because the situation itself is very funny, but it's just the idea of like a guy going, "Oh my god!" and he's like spraying bullets everywhere while the xenomorph has him in his mouth. I thought that was it's very stupid, but it was stupid enough like, okay, I can laugh at that kind of thing. Like what Chris said, I think visually it looks great. The score was tremendous. I mean, but to be fair though, those are things that you at this point you kind of should expect in an Alien movie because even in the movies that we weren't completely fond of, like Prometheus, or no, not Prometheus, Romulus. I don't know why I had Prometheus on the mind. Romulus. That movie looked great, even if it was just a very movie. It looked great. Prometheus, Covenant, same thing.
Can I say something about that really quick? Sorry.
Sure.
I think the only two movies that does not fully apply to, and that's probably because they're the ones that like the studio and everybody has tried to forget about, and that's Alien 3 and Resurrection.
Well,
and I think what they really should do with those is go back, remaster them, fix the faults of like CGI and stuff in them, and really touch up the audio because I don't know. I just don't think that they've paid as good of attention trying to keep those up because Alien and Aliens both still look and sound amazing. And every copy I've ever gotten of 3 or 4, even the Blu-ray versions, are nowhere near. So I don't know if we get all of that out of it.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, that's what we should expect at least is the atmosphere and the music. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. I did like how, in the first episode, like, they don't completely show the massacre of, like, what the xenomorph does in the ship because, again, it's Alien Earth. We're not watching a show called Alien on a Ship. If you want to watch that, watch Alien. But I like that they show it through like the little flash forwards, or like everyone's going in their pods to like go to sleep. Like you see like glimpses of like what the alien's gonna do and just the carnage it's gonna unleash. Like I like that, because I like that. I mean, I think mainly just because, again, like you have to set up all these things. You don't want to make your episode way too long. So at least having that, like little glimpses of like, okay, this is what the xenomorph does, just to give like a little bit of a taste of what it's going to do later on in the show. I thought was a very, very nice touch. Like Shifty said, like the text at the beginning and the little like the little imagery you kind of see, or like the little clips of sequences in the intro, I thought were really well done. The characters are very interesting. I think Wendy's a very interesting character. I believe his name is Moro. I think Moro is also also very interesting. I'm kind of curious to see if they're gonna go down the road where I think they're gonna go is where they're gonna have the trillionaire guy be like evil and be like, which I think that's probably where they'll go to. But
I got a theory. I got a theory on him.
Oh,
yeah, we discussed it last night.
I'm very curious.
I believe that he is right now too old to transition his psyche into that body. So he's putting all of his eggs, kind of, sort of speaking, in Wendy, because I think Wendy's going to be that one that can break that problem or issue. And I think as soon as she figures it out, I think she's going to try and do that same thing for her brother, and that's when he's going to transition his psyche or his spirit into an android body. That's my theory.
That's possible.
Mm-hmm. Because, and we talked about it again last night, where she's talking to Kirsch, I think his name is, and she's like, no, my brother's not gonna die, and he's basically saying he's gonna die. He's gonna get old. He's gonna get over like that, and she's like, no, he's not gonna die. Mm-hmm. So our theory is that something's probably gonna happen to him, and she's gonna learn how to put an adult consciousness into a synthoid, and that's what the billionaire guy, the trillionaire guy, is looking to do, because he wants to be immortal, right? Yeah.
There's no really. I mean, I'll cut you off. There's no way he is just doing that to get him of his heart. He got some kind of end game. Mm-hmm. And the end game is he want to be immortal. Like them, but I think he's like Minanzo and Brian theorized last night. Right now, he's too old for it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I should point something out. They want this to be a multi-year show, so that may not happen this season. If it does happen, they may want to drag.
That might be the end game of it, because he had a conversation with the older lady. I don't know whether it's his mom or his mentor or whatever. He was like, he wanted to speak to somebody that's more intelligent than he is, whatever the case may be. And if you notice, they're not watching all the other kids; they're only watching her. And then she's able to do things like she could write that code over, and she can communicate. So she's exhibiting more powers or more abilities than the rest of us are. The rest of the kids, they ain't even really necessary to me. Then I don't know any of their names. I don't care if they live or die. But I'm vested in Wendy, her brother, and Kirsch. Those are my three ones I'm interested in.
They're all named after the kids from Peter Pan, supposedly.
Yeah, but
I don't remember either.
Whoop-de-doo. Don't care. Yeah.
Wendy, Peter, and I'm trying to think the
only thing was cool about them was like when the next one became a synthoid or whatever you're going to call them, they were there to kind of welcome into that new life. I thought that was pretty cool how they did that. It kind of like a chain. Mm-hmm. The older lady was there for Wendy, then Wendy was there for the second guy, and then both of them was there for the third. I like that, but I'm not vested in the rest of those kids at all. Don't even know their names. Don't even care about them. So,
agreed. One of them is named Shmi. So,
Shmi?
He was the first mate of Captain Hook.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So it's very possible that that's where they got.
I'm
the
curious to
inspiration.
see how old that trillionaire boy is. I want to know what his age is. I think
Yeah.
he's over the threshold for conscious transference, whatever you want to call it.
Me too. Me too, Danny. And
Yeah.
I think that that's what the point is, to be immortal, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
she does say, when they're having a conversation, she does say, you know, we're doing this for nothing, like just to make people immortal if we're not doing it for a certain reason. So that's the end goal to me, is like immortality. We don't want to die.
Yep. I concur. Sorry, Alternator. Back
No,
on
no,
you.
you're good. You're good. I'm just listening in. Um, I'm gonna agree with what everyone said. I really like the other creatures besides the xenomorph. Like you had the eyeball thing, which looks very creepy. You got the big plant, which might be something else, judging by um what we see at towards the end of episode 2 with the big tentacle that's coming out. Um, it's like it almost looks like a plant the way that it's like
Mm-hmm.
kind of positioned, but it could be something else. Um, and then you have the little leeches, which again, I don't know what exactly they are, what their purpose is going to be, but I'm quite curious to seeing how these other creatures are going to be factored into the show. Um, I did like that one scene where the trillionaire guy like tells the head of Utani like, "Hey, the person's like, hey, listen, can we get our stuff back?" And he's like, "No." Like
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "Listen, your ship destroyed all my buildings, so I feel like it's fair is fair." She's like, "No, we kind of need those back because those are really important." He's like, "Yeah, no, that's okay." I don't know. I thought that scene was very amusing. Um, and then yeah, like I think I really like the way the xenomorph was presented in these first 2 episodes. I mean, this is something that I feel like a lot of the previous Alien movies kind of fail at doing, is making the xenomorph threatening. And obviously, of course, in design they're threatening, but in a lot of the later movies, especially Romulus, because there's so many of like the xenomorphs, like they're just there to be kind of like, oh, it's cool action, oh, they're killing a bunch of aliens. But here you have this one singular alien and it's going roughshod on everybody. Like it's got a massive body count already, and we're only on episode 2. Now, I would suspect that that this alien's gonna be throughout the show, or it's going to be one of them. So I'm really curious to seeing how they're going to continue on here. But the way like this alien's moving very swiftly and just very, just like almost just like very predator like. And I think Anzo said it best. Like there's a couple moments where like you have like the predators in the background, or not the predator, the alien in the background who like you don't really see it at first, but then they trick you. But
Yeah,
then
the
once you see it,
camouflage.
the camouflage, and then you see it, it's like, oh shit. Like it brings me back to the first movie where like you see where Sigourney Weaver's character Ripley, she's getting ready to go into her pod, and then you see the alien in using the camouflage in the background. Like I thought that was like that was very cool, very like almost like a subtle callback almost. And then like some of the kills are gruesome. Like and I especially like the scene where he has Moro has the alien in the almost like this very like in a body bag almost, but it was spray on, and then he's getting arrested, and then the alien comes out. He's like, I'm not gonna be your problem. Like I'm not the problem here. And then the alien in the background kills them all.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my God, that was a great scene. Oh man, like there's a lot to really like here, but I think you guys brought it up. I like the characters. Like it was all so good that by the end of the second episode, I was like, oh my God, please don't end here. And then they ended. I was like, son of a bitch. So I can't wait to see how this show progresses. Like there's just a lot of interesting stuff going on here. Um, However, not everything is perfect as it seems, and there are negatives. So, Shifty, I'm going to start with you first, sir. What are your negatives?
Well, first, you wondered if there's going to be more than one alien. Well, in the teaser for the
Guaranteed.
upcoming episodes, yeah, there's it ends the title. It ends with a big shot of like the inside of a sunlit cave, and there's a little xenomorph just sitting there chilling. So that yeah, there's going to be another
Well,
one.
when they show
Um,
the crew, right? They show more than one with
uh-huh,
a hole in it, right? Like they like
uh-huh,
three of them. They showed three different characters with holes in them. So
yep,
I assumed, yeah, we're definitely going to get more than one
yep,
xenomorph.
definitely. Dislikes. Now everybody was making fun of the moonwalk that the alien did at the when we first see him, but I mean, the chick went and got into like a little cubby hole hallway. I don't think the xenomorph's got like a big old head. I don't think he could have turned around. That's why he just did a Michael Jackson move up by the window there. That was funny though. I don't like all the changes in the suit. I mentioned it earlier. They shortened the dorsal fins on the back because they wanted it to move around like a panther. So they had to the head back of the head was getting in the way of the dorsal fin, so they shortened it. And he changed the teeth up to like flat teeth instead of spiky teeth because he thought flat teeth would hurt more if they bit you. He changed a couple of the designs up, and plus, like Anzo mentioned, he looks more like a robot this time. The dome is more blackened; it's not transparent. It's definitely a new look, but at times it kind of looks a little bit cheap.
Hmm.
Just I don't know because I mean we've never actually seen a xenomorph that dry looking. I mean it's got the spit, but it just looks kind of plasticky kind of. It's
Agreed.
weird.
And then the
It's weird.
silver teeth, you know what I mean? Like the silver teeth and everything. I was
He's
like,
got a grill. He's got a
yeah,
grill.
yeah.
Uh, uh, I do like the aliens, the other aliens. I wish, I hope, I hope at least one was more like animal like kind of. They're all kind of like tentacle creatures and stuff, and kind of like buggish. I like. I would hope something's a little bit more. I don't know. Something just a little bit different uh, than that.
Oh,
My biggest gripe, and we talked about it backstage, and we might have mentioned it here at the first of the show. Uh, the canon retcon, the big canon retcon. Uh, Not cool, but I'm not mad at it because the show's so good so far. Of course, the ship is a Weyland Yutani ship, and it's been on a mission for 65 years, so that predates the merger of Weyland Yutani. So that kind of casts out Romulus and Covenant. So this is its own thing, or it's in the Predator canon, which it still fits because you Predator AVP. It set up like a whole history of the eggs could be anywhere, anywhere, because they come from a planet and the predators set them all around for hunting purposes. So that lines up. So it could be in the predator side of the continuity or whatever. So, but
Mm.
yeah, that's my only dislikes.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Danny, overall negatives or just negatives?
oh,
Oh,
kind of good.
Oh,
Or
Probably his mic.
oh yeah. Um, Anzo, negatives.
Okay, so for one, and I said this earlier, I don't like that they're kids, right? I think that's an issue for me. I think you could have got the same kind of situation if you had made them 16 to 18, you know what I mean? Because right now I see a lot of silly jokes like you said, or Shifty said, oh, the bear and stuff like that. I think that's going to get played out too much, so that's one of my negatives. I think they should have been a little bit older. You don't have to make them adults, but you could have made them a little bit older. Another one of my negatives was the party, right? Now, I don't care who you are, but if a building crashes into, like a ship crashes into a building, you're gonna know. Those people in that party, you mean to tell me they had no idea that anything was going down in that building? So that was an issue for me as well.
Well, they got them big wigs on. They got them big wigs on. They can't hear.
They couldn't hear nothing, right? They didn't feel an
Yeah.
earthquake or nothing. The building didn't shake and
No.
rumble. No, we're
No.
just gonna party like normal, you know. So that was an issue for me. And then when the xenomorph goes and kills everybody, right, wipes them out real quick. Great scene. But then when the brother's there, it's like grabs him, throws him against the wall and stuff like that. And I get it, he can't die because of. But I just thought that was kind of weird to do, for me. What else was a negative that I had? I think I had another one, but that's all I can think of right now. If I think of anything else, I'll come back to it.
Okay. No problem. Chris, negatives.
Okay, we kind of touched on the retcon stuff in a sense. I don't know if it's so much of a retcon or they're just going to blatantly disregard the prequel stuff so far. My biggest problem with this, though, whether you want to call it retcon or not retcon, none of this is even broached upon in Alien or Aliens, and this happens just like I think a year or two before Alien and Aliens. So I just think it's kind of confusing. I like this series a lot. I think it works really well. It's just it is very jarring to try to figure out how this will tie into the other Alien movies. Then, even if they are disregarding Prometheus and Covenant, which I don't think is the right move, but whatever. Okay, fine. It's your own way. It's very jarring unless they tie this in some way where that ship was sent because they knew this happened. But that makes no sense because again, 2 years. How long? I can't remember the exact time that they've been out there, but it's like 20 years or something like that. They say
65.
in Alien. 65. Okay, yeah, I know. It's amazing.
Oh,
so
Alien. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I can't remember an Alien. I know it's 65 or more years after Alien and Aliens, but in the first Alien, I can't remember how long, but they do kind of mention it, and they're hoping to get home. Well, I'd have to go look. See, that's the thing. But again, unless you tie it into the Nostromo was sent because of this, which doesn't make a lot of sense, and I don't think works out in the timeline sense. It's just jarring. Mm-hmm. And this goes to the problem that all the subsequent Alien movies since Alien 2 or Aliens have had. There have been moments in it that are just so jarring that it's very difficult. The other thing I would say, and this is something else that since Aliens has really been a problem, it still has uneven pacing and a problem with understanding its tone. Where are we going with this? There's a lot of cerebral and philosophical stuff going on, and a lot of geopolitical, maybe, I guess, in a sense, with the synthetic creatures or the synthetics and all that, and a lot of things you're asking people to believe in that, with the transferences and all that. And at the same time, you're still trying to pace it out for horror. And so I think at times it seems very convoluted. The other thing is again, well, and I said it already, but I'm having a hard time seeing how all this is going on before Aliens, and all we knew about were the androids. You would have thought, if we could put these young people in these bodies, why not do it? And so that, because again, here they are, they're doing things here. Why didn't they send them out to do those things there? And
here's the question. Here's the thing that I have with that, Chris. Right? I think that if they end up like 50 said, there's going to be more than one season, which I figured as much, right? But it's probably going to end with something happen with that trillionaire and his technology or whatever, right? Because they're gonna have to explain why you don't have that in the movies that we already see, right?
That's what
Yeah.
yes, and that's where I'm really worried about it. It's like you're adding something so jarringly different. Is
Mhm.
there a reason why that isn't going on anymore? Again, geopolitical, there's things going on there, and I don't hate it because yet because these 2 episodes were really good, and the series it's a good start. But it is a dislike for me. It's just hard for me to watch this. The credibility of the hybrids kind of thing, it's a bit cartoonish and over the top. It's I deal with it. It's okay. It just again takes me out of the element of the alien whole thought. Some of the CGI is a little shoddy. I mean, it is a TV show. I guess you can give it, but I've seen better CGI, and I think they could have done better. Maybe it's just that I'm not used to seeing the maybe it's just the type of characters we're dealing with their superhuman strength and all that. It's just different in this world that I'm not used to seeing. Maybe that's what I'm thinking more. I don't know. It's very ambitious, and that at times can be detrimental to a series. So they're starting off strong, but they're also setting themselves up to fail horribly if they can't bring some of this stuff around. And like we've talked about, and I'm not going to compare this necessarily to Disney Plus. I know it's handled somewhere in the realm of Disney, but Disney has a problem with starting off really strong and then getting halfway through and going like, oh wait, we got to wrap this up, or we got to find a place to end this. And so even if they have multiple seasons, there's a season end that has to come, and something has to happen at the end of the season that makes us want to watch the next season, but also gives us some sort of closure. They're starting off very ambitiously, and I'm worried, can they give us those things? A season ending episode that makes us want to watch the next season. Those are some of my dislikes, and I guess it's more of a worry than a dislike, that last one. And they're kind of nitpicky, I'll admit, but those are my dislikes.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Danny, since you left before you could give your negatives, what are your negatives, sir?
Danny?
Annie?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Can't have hear you. Headphones keep going in and out.
Oh, it's your turn.
Yes,
negative.
negatives, yeah.
Oh, negatives. Okay. Shoot. First 30 minutes. It's totally my negative. The fact that they haven't given us enough of I guess character development on the other kids. I really don't see a need for them. I think they could have just put it off with concentrating on Wendy, and then her trying to get back with her brother. Um, at this point, the Asian lady doesn't seem very important. You only had one interaction with him, so I would like to see her. I guess I'm kind of wondering why does she only send one cyborg? Because that cyborg is very capable of holding his own with what we've seen with the aliens so far. So to me, it didn't make any sense unless I think last night we theorized that maybe they were planning on using the humans to incubate the facehuggers. I guess I don't know, but to me, it seems like why would they even need it? Because he seems to be, even though they had a captain, he was still in control of the ship, and he seemed to be calling the shots. So I didn't understand why they did that. Um, Other than that, that's only my negatives. Nothing else. We're not being super ultra nitpicky, but just have a few questions. And I really don't understand why they got other kids, because they don't seem to be a factor of enhancement and enhancing the story anywhere that I can see at this point. Maybe it's too soon to say, but at this point, Yeah, and I wanted to see. I kind of got a little invested with the initial crew. Then they kill them off before we could get to even care about them or anything. So maybe when they do a
Thank you.
flashback, maybe we'll get to see more about the crew because they were the kind of tension between the cyborg and that one white guy, older white guy. That seemed like it would be something interesting. Then that Asian guy, I don't know whether he was a cyborg or synthetic, but he was kind of fascinated with the lady looking at her while she lay in the tube. They kind of started down the road with the story, but then they kind of cut it off. So I'm kind of interested in seeing how those characters are, the initial characters, and how exactly the xenomorphs got out or whatever the case would be, especially that doctor, because everyone else went back to sleep except her. She was still up doing tests and that kind of stuff. And then we were talking about last night, if he's a cyborg, then why does he need sleep? So they got a lot of unanswered questions at this point in the story. So hopefully they'll
Can
be able
I
to answer those
can I,
questions.
can I ask or answer? Try to answer, not necessarily answer, but give a little bit of the. It's the same, and we've come up with this before. With David doesn't sleep in Prometheus, but Ash in the first Alien is in a cryopod. He doesn't need to be. So at times they do that, I think, to possibly blend in more,
Yeah.
just to be
Well, they didn't.
like.
They
But
they didn't know Ash was a robot.
Or
He
maybe
was.
it's that
He was.
Flash.
no,
Maybe the Flash will age. I mean, I don't know.
well, I don't know, but well, and yeah, you're right, Shifty. That's why he did it, or that's why they did it, because they were trying to hide that he was the android, even though obviously they know about him. They were trying to hide that he was one, even though they gave you nods to that he probably was. But the thing is not just because he's trying to hide that he is what he is, because he's not hiding. We see enough to know that he is what he is. But when you are programmed, sometimes you might be programmed to do things to make it less jarring to the people around you, and maybe there's some thought behind that. I don't know. It does kind of made me wonder too, but that it's not the first time they've done something like that was not necessary. That kind of goes against what they are. So yeah, I get where you're going with that, but I don't know if that's going to be explained or not.
So that reminded me of one of my negatives, right? So,
Mhm.
and I think Shifty said it, where he said he liked the fact that they didn't show what happened on the ship. I think they could have cut down the introductions to the hybrids and showed us a little bit more of what happened on that ship. That's what I was
Mhm.
hoping
Oh no.
for, right?
Yeah, I didn't say that because I think they're going to.
Oh, it
Not
was
only that,
Austinator. I'm sorry. Sorry. It was
I think each episode, or they may save it for
Hello?
another season, or the beginning of every season, that uh, we may see how they captured each one of these creatures.
Can't hear you,
Hopefully.
Shifty, if you're trying to talk.
Oh,
Oh no, we heard Shifty. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear him.
I can hear him.
I can't hear.
You can't hear him at all,
Nope.
but you can hear us.
wow.
I can hear you.
That's weird.
Nobody else
Whoa.
is talking, but I can't hear Shifty at all.
Wow.
He's talking. I hear him.
I hear you, Chris.
Yeah,
Hear me
Shifty
now?
said he.
No,
Wow, we didn't.
no,
I'll
we can't.
back out and try to come in.
Okay.
No.
So yeah, and
Wow.
that too, Shifty. I said I thought that we're probably gonna see a flashback into what happened on the ship, how the xenomorph got out and everything. I agree with that. I just thought that we could see a little bit more, like you could put a little bit more action in there than to have had just the 30 minutes of the dialogue that we did get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something's really interesting, and this I should be talking about this in predictions, but they said they lost a lot of good men getting those specimens. I really want to know where they got those xenomorphs, because if they got it from the ship on LV-426, that would be the fourth time in canon that somebody has visited that ship and got an egg or a face hugger on their face. They've done it 3 other times in canon, if you count the Alien Isolation video game. So they had to have got it somewhere else. That's why I'm saying this has to be set in the Predator side of the timeline of the the chronological
That's
order.
it's fine and dandy, but then you
Yeah.
gotta own up the Predator stuff then, and they've totally disregarded it.
Well,
I don't know.
I think this has got to be. I mean, we got Badlands coming out in 2 months. I'm telling you, they're going to.
Okay, so what you're telling me is they're trying to tie this into not Alien, or they're trying to reboot the whole Alien franchise?
I don't know. I think this is unrelated to the prequels, and it can't be tied in with Romulus because Romulus is explicitly tied to the prequels, and it's getting a sequel. So I think this is.
That's my problem with this damn show right there. And if they do that, I'm sorry, you are totally screwing the pooch.
I think this is tied to AVP.
Either you bring AVP into this, totally disregard it, but you don't go and take an Alien movie that has heavy ties to the current Alien franchise.
Yeah.
And then turn it around and say, oh, but it has nothing to do with any of that. That's the type of flop that I'm talking about. And if they do that, if they run that direction, this is not going to have more than 1 season. You're going to piss a lot of people off.
I just, how can this not tie to the prequels, but Romulus, which it explicitly did, and they're getting a sequel.
I am totally on board with you on that. I'm okay if they disregard the prequels in this. I'm okay, but you have to fully disregard it as if perhaps this particular group or this bubble in the Alien universe doesn't know about that, which is possible because it was very secret what they were doing in the prequels. But at the same time, you cannot start to grab onto other stuff that doesn't belong here. And it's already trying to do that. I don't know. That's why I'm very skeptical about this. But I like it so far. So
I'm going to say one thing. That shitty movie from 2018, what was it called? The Predator, the Predator, where they had Thomas Jane in it, and they had that big predator and the dogs. The original ending to that they didn't go with was they actually hired lookalikes, and it was going to end with Newt and Ripley coming back through time to go to war with the Predators. Now, if we're talking about multiple timeline theories right now, so they may do something drastically stupid and bring that back into the mix because right now we don't know what the hell is happening and there's contradictions left and right.
I know. That's what I was saying about. That's my biggest dislike about this is that I'm trying to wrap my head around where will they go, because can they land what they've started with? Yes, they can.
One more thing, and not only that, but they brought the ID4 aliens into the mix in Badlands supposedly because there's a skull hanging on the wall. That might just be an in joke, but they may tie ID4 into all this shit now too. So we don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's maddening.
Can you hear us, Danny?
Danny, can you hear us? No. You watching it on the phone? You on the phone now?
What's going on with my mic? Sometimes I go in, sometimes I go out. I can hear you now.
Okay. Because we can hear your mic. Fine. Just interest. Okay. Sorry.
What was the question?
No, we were just asking if you could hear us, or if you could hear Shifty more to the point.
I heard Shifty. He kind of went in and out, but last time I heard him, heard some of them. I haven't heard Austin in a while. Can you say something, Austinator?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
All right.
Um.
Go ahead.
I do mic either time headphones. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
no.
All right. It is time for my negatives. I'll be kind of quick here. Like most people on the panel, the first 30 minutes were very slow. Um, but I'll label that as more of a nitpick because like the whole episode was in an hour, was an hour, and to be fair, in a lot of the Alien movies, it does start very slow, so it's more of a nitpick, and I could give it a little bit of a pass. Like what Anzo said, I do think like that whole like the dinner scene itself was cool, but the setup to it was kind of dumb. Like the whole, well, the ship crashed. Oh, you got to leave. Oh, we didn't know anything about it. And then when the soldier with the guns telling you, hey, you need to get out of there, and they're just like, nah, I'm good. I'm just like, okay. Even I was kind of like I could suspend my disbelief on certain things, but that's just dumb. Um, and then yeah, like the other kids don't really add anything. I have a theory that they're more than likely just going to be fodder for the alien. I think the alien or something or whatever or one of the creatures is going to kill some of them. I mean, we could be wrong, but right now I don't know. I don't know. Like it's honestly one of those things where I don't know where I could see it going. I but they're just not very memorable in my opinion. I just don't think they're just not very interesting. And especially like having them be kids, like I feel like that almost gives me a little that's almost makes me worry a little bit about how they're gonna hand like the comedy. I feel like trying to give it an excuse of having like more comedy, which you don't really need. Like I don't mind comedy in the sense of like, oh, you need to break the tension, but I just don't want it to turn into another like MCU show where the comedy becomes oversaturates it. Um, but again, I'll wait and see, and then yeah, the whole continuity stuff is just very very wonky. Because even like it beforehand shifting, I know we were talking about this a little bit, but like the director didn't really know where this set in, and now you're trying
Yeah.
to, and now you're gonna ignore Prometheus and Covenant, which is also very weird. Like even if like you're one of those people that don't like them, which is fine, it's still kind of like I hate when franchises do this, where like they ignore certain things to make your story work. Like you have to ignore a movie, or you need to ignore movies in your franchise to make your timeline stuff work. And I know, Shifty, you were talking about how a predator could be brought into this. Uh, Honestly, if they did that, like, again, I think the idea of an alien versus predator thing is there. And honestly, again, because you'd be stupid not to. Like, if you're looking at it from a financial and money standpoint, an alien versus predator movie, especially now, would sell. That said, I don't know if I would do it in this way if that's where they're going for. I get it; they're owned by the same companies, but like I don't know if I would sacrifice an alien show to do a predator alien versus predator tease. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's convenient things here. I want to believe it's just a coincidence, I guess. Because I mean, sure, Badlands is coming out in 2 months. I know like a lot of the directors, like Freddie Alvarez and uh, whoever did whoever's doing Predator Badlands wants to do Alien versus Predator. I mean, again, it's possible, but I don't know if it'll go over well. Like, I think the casual audience will be like, "Oh my god, the Alien and the Predator! Oh my god, that's gonna be awesome!" But I don't know. Like now it's gonna get confusing because Romulus is getting a sequel, and that's tied into the Covenant and Prometheus somewhat. I don't know that this one the way that they're setting this movie in is like they don't really know where it's gonna take place. Like because from what we know, this is taking place before Alien, if I'm not mistaken. But
It's 1 or 2 years before.
so But even then, like the director was going, "Oh, I don't really know where it takes place. Yeah, it takes place before Alien, but actually it takes place in between Alien. Oh, actually it takes place after Aliens." It's like, bro, figure it out. Like, do your research, for
That's
God's
what
sake.
a lot of that talk coming up to it. It's like they were all over the place. It's gonna be like Romulus in between some stuff, and then now it's like, no, it's before. It's like, these are maddening things. I agree with you, Austinator.
And it's just, God, it's so. And then they're like, "Oh, well, we don't care about continuity." Like, what? Like, yes, we do. The fans do care about continuity, and which again makes me kind of like Shifty, almost a little bit nervous. Like, oh God, are they really gonna? Like, again, I don't know what the end goal is here. Like, is this gonna be part of like? It's so confusing. Maybe, like I said, I'm hoping answers are kind of questions are answered by the end of this, but only time will tell. I mean, like I think we can all agree that an interest in an Alien versus Predator movie is there now, because now you've got you got people in there that know what they're doing. But first of all, I think it's way too early to do it. But at the same time, I don't know if I would sacrifice an Alien show that has nothing to do with the fucking Predator to even try and do something like that.
It's like, and I don't think they even know what they're doing, because what I'm reading here states that Predator Badlands with the Xenomorph skull and all that is a toe dip and a gradual integration into the Alien universe rather than a forced one. And then they say that there is no plan, though, at the moment for a full-blown plan to merge it. And they said that Alien Earth does not take place outside of the Alien timeline, and yet also with Alien Romulus that they're thinking about eventually doing a tie-in with the Predator. It's like they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. It's like, this is, I'm reading this, it's like, what the hell?
Badlands definitely has a tie to the Alien universe, because it co-stars a freaking Weyland-Yutani synth.
Well, that's my point. It's like they have that stuff, and it's like, okay, so now you're going to do. Oh God, okay, we gotta stop this. We gotta wrap this one up.
We'll be here all day. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a follow-up episode after all of this. Just try to figure out what the fuck is going on. But
we need charts.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring out some charts and whiteboards. All right, let's get into our final thoughts and grades here. I'll start with Chris, since he hasn't started any of these. So, final thoughts, grades, and predictions.
Final thoughts on this. I'll go daring to start. This is daring, and again, for all the stuff we're talking about here, that's bold. To dip into stuff. And again, the problem with a lot of these series is they don't know where they're going. They just start. They're like, we're going that way. And they haven't thought of how are we going to do that? And how are we going to answer these questions that people will bring up? Maybe they've thought of it. Sure as hell doesn't seem like it. It's bold that they're doing this, and daring. It is compelling. The Wendy character is very compelling. I like that. I think right now, the first two episodes, ambition is the strength of this series right now. It can be its detriment and death too. Because I think right now, what they're kind of leaning into is this kind of like, what does it mean to be human when your body is a machine? So it's like consciousness inside a machine. What does that mean? How would that be? Because we've talked about this in real life. People are talking about how can you keep your body, or how can you keep your consciousness alive forever? These are things that actually come around in the world. Wow, we're not that close to it, but that's kind of where we're going with this. But again, like I said, the ambition is risky, and it can hurt the tone, and it can hurt the pacing. And right now, I think a lot of viewers are feeling what I am. I like the series, but if they continue going so off script with what are Alien norms, it's going to become a detriment. Unless
They
the
explain it in a
trade-offs.
good way.
Exactly. Unless these trade-offs and all this pay off enough to make it worth it, like Gonzo just said. I will go. Right now, it's a B plus. I'm going to go B plus. Again, visuals on point. The creatures pretty good. I agree with Shifty on the changes. Definitely the dry change. I don't know what it is about an Alien. When you make it look that dry, it almost felt like watching Alien 3 with the CGI. It's like, I don't know. But the emotional hooks, things like that, pretty good so far. And like the sound design, great stuff right there. So there you go.
All right. Very good. Very good. B plus. Danny, final thoughts and final grades and predictions.
Oh, I didn't give you a prediction. They better figure out how to land this because they're.
You finished?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I give the first show a B minus because of the first 30 minutes. Second show, B plus, A minus, somewhere in there. Overall, I think, like we just talked about last night and covered a little bit today, I think that young Trey in there, he got something up his sleeve. I think he's trying to get to a different level, a higher level. I think that he is using those kids kind of as guinea pigs to see what will work, what won't work. I think whatever extra tools he had, or whatever extra software, extra updates, whatever, he gave to Wendy, and Wendy is kind of writing the programming for it, so to speak. And then once she's perfected or whatever, then he's going to take that. He may even take her mind and whatever and try to integrate it in. I don't know, but I think he's trying to do something. And I think now that since I think he wasn't aware of the xenomorph and the other creatures on that ship, and now that he is, because he's kind of watching it through the cameras and stuff, I think he's even going to try to do something even more sinister. So I think it's going to be a total of 8 episodes. Just y'all say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 8.
I think so.
Yeah. If it's going to tie into the first, I don't know how they're going to tie it into the Alien franchise. That's where I'm a little lost at. But if they're going to try and do it, then it's going to be something very similar, like how Obi-Wan and because everybody was asking that big question: well, how is they're going to tie Obi-Wan and Darth Vader and da. I thought they did very nicely. Some people liked it, some people didn't. But if they're going to keep the Alien franchise kind of sort of canon, then whatever episode 8 is going to have to kind of flow straight into what we saw as canon on the Aliens, kind of like how we saw a scene where Darth Vader was kicking people butt. Everybody loved it last 3 minutes of the movie, and then it kind of transitioned into New Hope. So they're gonna do that. If not, it's not gonna make sense unless this is a total reimagining or restart, whatever you want to, whatever you want to call it. But that's what I think will happen. I think the trillionaire is working on something sinister. We just haven't seen the whole picture yet. And now that we got these other xenomorphs in there, I don't know whether that's going to be a secondary story or he's going to try and incorporate it into whatever sinister, diabolical plan he's got brewing. But he has something going on that we haven't been revealed to yet. Is my prediction.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Anzo, your final thoughts, grades, and predictions.
Yeah, so I think the grades we gave it, or at least I gave it last night, was a B plus. I think the first episode is probably a B because of the first 30 minutes of it, but it did do definitely enough to keep my interest to where I wanted to see more. Now I'm also on the level of Chris where you could either do this great or you could screw the pooch big time. You know what I mean? So they have to be really careful how they tread. Because again, it has to end with it explaining why we've never seen hybrids in future movies, So if they can get that right and they can do it on point like that, then I won't have a problem with it. I just think that they could make a huge mistake if they don't do it right. Um, Predictions, I think um, that for so right now we know there's like 5 factions that are fighting for control of the universe. It's probably going to end with maybe one of those fractions kind of winning for now. And then in season 2, you're going to get the other factions trying to take over. Because I think at the end of the day, we all know Wayland ends up running the universe the way it seems like from the aliens going forward. So it's going to have to end with that happening. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to wipe out all information of those other, whatever we haven't seen, going to wipe out all the information so that we explain explain it away going forward. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely a good start, and I'm excited to see what they do with the rest of it.
Okay, very good, very good. Shifty, final thoughts, final grades, and predictions.
Now I know Ridley Scott decanonized Alien Resurrection, but they said in that movie that Walmart bought out Wayland Yutani in the future. So, yeah, I didn't notice Walmart was one of the 5 corporations that they mentioned. So,
Mm.
I guess Resurrection is not still tied to the universe. Um, I give it an A for both episodes. I'm really enjoying it so far. But Noah Hawley, he hasn't disappointed yet with Fargo. He's done 5 seasons. Legion was really good, but it got really weird. And there's some things that he did in Legion that he's doing with this, like the dream sequences and stuff that is in the background, or you're not really paying attention to, that could lead to huge twists. And I I mean there's some stuff that he's layering in that I think we're going to get something very possibly weird coming up, or some huge like left turns. The Exterminator that we've seen twice, what's his deal? I mean, is he going to pop back up? Is he a major to the plot? Is he just there because it's a bug hunt or whatever? I think he may have something to do later on. Maybe a bigger character than we think. Um, that beach sequence where we first learn about her having the powers, that ends so weirdly. It fades to black, and they play some really ominous music there. It's like, is that actually a flash forward, maybe? And it's going to lead to a scene later on in the show. It's just really weird how they ended that. Also, that they're simulating the adolescence in their bodies, so they're not going to be acting like kids forever, supposedly. So when are they going to flip the switch? She said that they're going to flip the switch sometime. So when will that happen? Will it happen this season? We'll have to find out. And like I said, I really hope they have a flashback to tell us where they got those alien eggs. They could have, if they hadn't set this their mission 65 years in the past, or not even that. If they just hadn't had the ship say Wayland Yutani, if it was just a Yutani ship, that would have been fine. And they could have got the eggs from Planet 4 from Covenant. That would have been fine. And there would be no logic gaps, no plot threads. Everything would line up perfectly. But they didn't do that. But I give it an A
No,
for
and
both episodes.
that's the problem, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like there's easy answers to fix it. And I think that's, and I'm gonna go out there on this, and I don't know about all of us, but I think that with Star Wars, Alien, Predator, and a lot of the stuff out there, Star Trek even, it's like we're not asking for a lot, but they feel like they have to rewrite or reinvent the wheel every time they come out with something new.
Yeah.
And it makes it hard to say this fits in. Star Trek does the best because there's multiple timelines and it all kind
Terminator
of works at them. Terminator kind of makes it okay because it's a bootstrap paradox and anything can change from one thing to the next, but it all revolves back around to it happens.
The thing is, when you
I'm
do prequels, though, you have to be very careful not to, mess up the continuity. George Lucas even did it in his own stuff. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
So at the same time, like we all accepted what he did, but when you really think about it, it's like, meh, you know what
Well,
I mean?
again, I've always said the worst thing that happened to Star Wars was midichlorians and not just flat out making Yoda Obi-Wan's master. I let it
Hmm.
go. It works. It's fine. I think because how he did it, there was enough gaps in his original story that didn't really tie anything down directly. Because you say, well, maybe that's what he meant by Yoda was his teacher because he taught every Padawan. Hey,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
had something to do with every one of them. And the midichlorians, okay, you take the spiritual side out of it, but and you make it more science, but it could still be the same thing. I think Lucas at least saved himself in a way. But when you're so blatantly like, if for instance Yoda didn't exist in the prequels, that would have been a problem, right? That's
Yep.
kind of some of the stuff we're running into on this. It's
no,
like,
I agree. I agree.
whoa,
Yeah, I agree that George Lucas, when he did his changes, they were like minimal, right? But at the same time, some of them were actually jarring, right? Because you
yeah.
have you have Obi-Wan who has a ton of interaction with R2, but then in Star Wars, he has no idea who R2 is. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
and a simple fix could have just had Obi-Wan and R2 never in the same scenes. You could have simply fixed that. You know what I mean? You could have simply done that. It's still have him part of the story, just not with Obi-Wan. And that makes sense. But they kind of jarred him in there, and now you're like, oh, wait a minute, he doesn't know who R2 is when he sees him. So I don't know. It's just weird.
Indeed, indeed. Okay. Final grades for me. I thought I'm gonna give the first episode a B and the second episode a B plus. I think I'm pretty much gonna agree with everybody here. I'm mainly giving them these grades because I agree with everybody. The first episode, the first 30 minutes, kind of took it away, but realistically, that I can overlook. Because again, I want to see more. That said, I'm kind of with Chris. Is this is very ambitious, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Especially after Alien Romulus, this is something that I can like. Okay, you're getting some cool alien stuff, some cool xenomorph action. Plus, you're getting a lot of good narrative, and that's what I think works with the show at least thus far is because I think it's gonna be 8 episodes or somewhere around there. Like, so they have enough
Yep.
time to really develop stuff. But that being said, with a lot of the destroyedness that's going on right now, I really hope they do explain some things, because it's just right now it just I don't know I hope the way they execute this it's not a messy clusterfuck, um, because it's just more of a continuity problems right now that are more problematic. But again,
I,
I'll see how it goes first before.
I, I, I'm going to reiterate this. I've watched 8 seasons of Noah Hawley shows. They've all been great. So it's I think it will pan out. So
The Roman Empire was the greatest empire until it wasn't. I think that's always the
well,
term. You're always the best. You're always number one until you no longer are. Saying that everything you've watched has been great is fine, but one of these days he's going to drop the ball, and I hope it's not this one. But
yeah.
Yes. And I'm also giving them a B plus that way in case if something better comes in, I could be like, hey, this was better than these two. But But again, these could be the high bars, so who knows? We'll see. But yeah, that wraps up my thoughts and grades and things for Alien Earth, the first 2 episodes. We will be back next week to discuss episode 3. That being said, I want to thank everybody on the panel. I'm going to let everybody go around one more time to let them know where they can find themselves at. We'll start with Chris on the bottom. Where can they find you at, sir?
Real Review 3000, Chaos Central, where the first 3 Mondays of the month we do our shows. That's the Chaotic Conversation, Chaos List, and then the Rule of 3. This Monday is mine. So we'll have 3 questions, and we'll also have Final 5 Fact or Fiction. So we'll get to that. But sometimes you find me on Danny's channel, The Road to Wisdom, sometimes up on Hanzo's Big Afford Entertainment. Hanstar YT, where we do Hanstar Sunday Fun Day or Jackbox Game Night, and weekly wrap up on my channel, simulcast at the same time. And yeah, anywhere I'm invited, because it seems like people are worried that the ego will show up at some point. I don't know. He's just been quiet. Don't know what's going on.
I don't know, man.
And I think we're
know.
gonna keep it that way. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And nobody.
I have no control over that.
Ain't nobody need that
no-
clown to come on here anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't need
I
to
know.
see that.
Never know.
We will never know.
Or maybe we will.
Or maybe we will. If that's the philosophical question. We may know, we may never know. Danny, where can they find you at, sir?
You can find me on my channel on The Road to Wisdom on Mondays and Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, sometimes on Onzo Show the OOC on Wednesdays, usually around about 8:39. The Hangout at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. And also on Storms Live, you can find me 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. Of course, along with Chris and Onzo, we got Chaos Central. There are 3 different shows. I think it'll be Chris Rule of 3 this Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm a little bit of here, a little bit of there, a little bit everywhere.
Very good, very good. Hanzo, Big Ford Entertainment, where can they find you at, sir?
Exactly. There, Big Afford Entertainment. Let me just say this. I was chilling today. I watched No Way Home. And yes, No Way Home is one of the best MCU movies ever created. I'm just saying that again. That's it. Now, Monday night, of course, we got Chris's show, Rule of 3. Tuesday will be the breakdown for Twisted Metal. Wednesday will be the OOC. Thursday will be the watch party for Wednesday's the watch party. Thursday will be the Alien again. And then Friday, if not this Friday, but next Friday will be Peacemaker. So I got a lot of stuff coming up, man. It's gonna be fun. So thanks for having me. Great show.
Peacemaker hasn't started yet, though, has it?
Yeah, no, I know. The week after. Not next Friday.
Yeah,
the Friday after.
Okay.
Very cool, very cool. I'm interested in what Peacemaker Season 2's got to offer.
I think we all are on this panel except for maybe one person.
Yeah, that ain't me. I don't care nothing about no Peacemaker.
I'll watch it, but I don't like John Cena. So
Ain't got nothing to do with him. The intro alone is totally throws me off.
Thank you, Donnie. I hated the intro too. And I was talking to Brian them. They were like, "Oh, the intro's so great." I'm like, "No, that intro was trash." Bro.
No, I want to say a word that I can't say, but
But have you gave it a chance though, Danny?
I really haven't.
Give it a chance. I think you'll like it. You like everything trash, anyway.
The
So
most-
No, I don't.
The biggest problem I have with it is that you're continuing something that belongs to the DCEU and acting like we can just do this, and it's only because there's one person involved with all of this that's going to let it happen, and that's the person who's in charge of the DC now. So it's like, again,
well,
it's like
from what I
just
hear is they're going to
stick
cut
with
out
it.
the connection to the Snyderverse, right? So
That's fine, but you already have it.
yeah, but it's minimal. It's minimal.
It's not minimal,
Yeah, it is.
but it's still, I don't think it is, but it's fine. It's whatever. Again, as we've said many times since George Lucas sold Star Wars, it's not his anymore. It's not like you know, what are you gonna do about it? It's
Yeah, they can do
different
what they
people.
want to. Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, I'll let it go. It's just it's one of those things. I'm like, I don't get it.
My thing is, there's so much stuff out there. I gotta be picky and choose with my time, and it ain't important enough on my list to watch. I'm looking forward to the second part of Wednesday. I thought it was good. I'm gonna do some videos on that whenever I see the whole thing. But
If you want,
I
I
may
hate
care.
that they did that though. That's stupid. Why did they drop 4 and then a month later drop the other 4? You see, this
They
is what I'm
dropped. They
saying.
dropped
last
8.
time.
They dropped
Huh?
4. They dropped 8.
No, they only
No, it
dropped
was
4
just 4.
episodes.
It's just 4.
I thought it was 8 episodes.
No, they only
it's
dropped
4
4,
and then
and then the
another.
next 4 is coming next month.
I think they're
So-
doing that.
Yeah,
That's the same way they did. What you call it? They dropped the what's it called?
Cobra
That
Kai.
Wednesday did
Cobra
the
Kai.
first
They did
season.
6, 6,
Yeah.
and 6.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like for me, it's either do it weekly or drop them all at once. Don't give us this 4 and then another break and then 4. Like, why are we doing this? It's streaming.
Well, I think they're doing that. In
Right.
my opinion, is to try to keep it relevant. If you drop
I'll
all
do a
that one
discussion with
time,
you, Danny, if you want to do a discussion on it once you watch it.
I'm sorry.
They're doing that with Stranger
I said-
Things too.
Once you watch it, if you want to do something like a panel thing on it or something like that, I'd do that with you.
He
Yeah,
watched it
I
already.
Y'all watched the first 4. I'm ready for the second 4. What I'm saying. There was
Just
another
do it all
show.
at one time.
Yeah.
Like I
Stranger
said,
Things, they're going to
yeah, Stranger
They're
Things
gonna
going to
do
do it too. Mhm.
they're going to do it on Thanksgiving, then they're going to do it on Christmas, and then they're going to end it on New Year's.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I don't-
I think that's the new format.
I don't like it. I don't like it. You know what I mean? I some shows I don't mind going week to week. Some shows I don't mind binging. It all depends on the show for me, right? But I don't like this break and then 4 more. I don't like that part of it. I don't like that.
Yeah. Sometimes it's aggravating. Sometimes it is, but
Cause I watched them, I was interested. I was like, "Oh, this is cool." I'm like, and then I gotta wait a month. You know what I mean? Like,
and then not to mention you had to wait 3 years from the first season. That's what I don't like. Why is there so much time to make these shows?
I don't like that either. You know what's funny too, right? Because I'm sorry, we're kind of hijacking the stream a little bit, but I had this discussion earlier. It's like when we were watching, regular TV, right? You watch a series, they would have 22 episodes, right? And by the time those episodes were finished, they would start filming the next season. So by the time the last episode show, you wait like fall and then boom, a new show is coming out. So like 3 months, you'd get the next season, right? I think they kind of got to go back to that because I forget a lot of it. Like in Wednesday, I completely forgot what happened. You know, the guy they had chained up there that turned into the beast. I completely forgot what happened to him from the first season.
I think
You know what I
back
mean?
then to now it's cost. The cost is so crazy. I don't think they can
That too.
afford to do 20-something episodes now. So they gotta squeeze it all in the
Yeah, no, I know.
Story.
No, 100%. I know they won't do 22, but I'm saying if you're gonna do 10, make sure you have the next season a year later, at least. You know what I mean? Like, don't wait 3 years and then we gotta catch the season 2. I just should have it like every year. I'd be okay with that. But 3 years, 5 years, ugh. That's my only issue. Yeah, your mic went out again, Donnie. But I don't know if you guys feel the same way about that, but I just feel like
Yeah,
if you get the show out every year, I'd be cool with it.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with it. I mean, I guess saying 3 years is kind of a way to get you to go back and watch it again. You know what I mean? Maybe get people like, oh, we got to revisit the show because we haven't seen it in 3 years. But I just prefer if you would just bring it all out a year.
It drives me nuts too with the whole idea that kind of thing. It's like that kind of thing. If I really liked your show, you shouldn't need to do stuff to get me to rewatch it. I should be
That too.
before that. Like for
Yeah.
instance, I don't know if any of you watched Yellowstone. Paramount
Yeah.
did a really good job with
I love
Yellowstone when yeah, exactly. So they showed every week had an episode, but before that episode happened, in season 2 they showed all of season 1. At season 3
Yeah.
they showed all of season 1 and 2 the week before or whatever, and they did that.
That
That's
is
how you do it. It's like if you want to watch it again, well, here you go. You can go watch it again. That was the right way to do it. And I think if streaming kind of mirrored how TV shows on TV do it,
Yeah.
that it would work better. It's like because again, you said it best. It's like they keep changing how it is. Either it's 2 episodes or this or it's 3
Austrinator,
episodes.
Danny's
3
back.
episodes.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, no.
No, I agree with you, Chris. So 100%. You know, like I said, if you just give us a year apart, I'd be okay with that.
But you know, why did some not some networks do it better than others? Because I'm watching Star Trek Brave New Worlds. It's fantastic. And I didn't have to go back and watch it.
It was a year, right? Last year it came out, and then this year.
I want to think it was.
Yeah, I think it was a year apart. I agree with you. You do a year apart, and it should be fine. Especially if you.
I don't understand why Star Trek seemed to have the right formula. They got the right formula. The stories are compelling. I know everybody didn't like the little the one last year when they did the musical. I didn't really like it either, but it's still.
I'll tell you why.
I love Brave in the Boat. I mean, and Pike was my least favorite captain, but man, he's up in my top 3 now. Go ahead.
I like Pike.
CBS,
Yeah, you're saying Austin there?
A lot of CBS Paramount is kind of handled by former CBS execs, so that's why they know how to actually put out shows on time and stuff because they're coming from network TV, and that's why Paramount is one of the most consistent streaming services out there. They've got a lot of shows and they keep them on time, on schedule.
You know what? That
Even
makes
though
a lot of sense.
Even though 1923 did have like a two-year gap between the seasons, though.
Yeah, but that was a lot of different things that did that. I think what I read about 1923 is that they knew with the cast and shooting schedules of different projects that they were going to be on that timeline. And I think, and again, if you know you're going to be on that timeline, they did tell people this isn't going to be this one season. We're going to do another one, but it's going to be a little bit later.
I'm pretty sure they probably locked those people in those contract obligations too. You can't go to another movie because this is what you So
I would pay. Go ahead.
I'm saying I would pay the other actor. I would pay the actors more to keep them, make sure they don't get other jobs to have that scheduling problem. I would pay them a little extra money for that. So that might be something that they did an incentive. Okay, look, instead of paying me $100,000 episode, I'll give you $200,000 because that'll keep you invested in. Hey, we're gonna film here to here. So unless you got a movie that's gonna take you 1 month to film, whatever, don't obligate yourself to another movie because we're gonna start back filming. Blah 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 blah.
Well, the thing about 1923 was, and I think Shifty will kind of back me on this, was Harrison Ford and who was his wife in that?
Helen Mirren.
Yeah, Helen Mirren. They dictated that because when Taylor Sheridan went to them and said, "Hey, we want you in this," Harrison Ford basically said, "I'll be in it, but you're not dictating my time and what I do." And so Taylor Sheridan signed that and knew what he was getting into. So there are moments when you want an actor or actress that sometimes that does cause that delay. And you knew it going up front. Like I said, they did a pretty good job of saying that what we got the first season was not going to be all of it, but that it was going to take longer to get to the second season.
Well, that's what I was going to say about like Netflix, right? Sometimes they'll do a season and one, you're not sure it's going to be renewed yet. And then 2, you got these actors that have other projects that they got to do. So you may have to wait for them to do their projects to get the next season done too as well. And I think like Danny said, I think if you know, because I know a lot of these shows, they know they're going to do more than one season. Like Shifty said, we already know they're probably going to do more than one season of Alien, right? So now you do the contract to where it's like, we're going to start, filming and doing this stuff so that by the time next year comes around, season 2 comes around, right? Where people are not waiting 2 or 3 years. So I think they should do more like that as well.
before we go, I should point out that there was there was like an interview between Noah Hawley, the exec of FX, and it was supposed to be the girl that plays Wendy, but she no showed for a variety of reasons, and they actually kind of talked smack about her in that interview. So she may not be back for season two because she didn't show up for a major photo shoot and stuff, and this is her first big role ever, and they kind of talked smack about her in that interview. So they said that was kind of unprofessional. So there may be some turmoil behind the scenes. So she may not be around. I don't know. Uh, it was kind of weird that they said what they did. So
Interesting.
Very interesting. Wow. Big tangent there. That's all right. It's all right.
It wouldn't be one of these streams if there wasn't a tangent at some point. The fact that we kept it to the end, that was great.
No, hey, I appreciate the extension of the runtime. You know.
hey, do you think maybe next week we ought to simulcast this on Cast Central or something? Because
Not
we
my
could
choice.
probably get more viewers. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not my choice. If Austinator wants it to be like that, we can do it.
I mean, it could be a choice, but you know, it's look for Chris. Gosh darn it, Chris.
Wow.
God, should have known. Should have known he was going to do this to me. Shifty, where can they find you at, sir?
Well, you can find me tomorrow night on if Chris does the Sunday Fun Day weekly wrap up thing jig that he does over on OnStar and his channel. Maybe if he does it. Also, you can find me Thursday nights 8:30 p.m. on Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective and Vinny Art for the Collectible Pass Toy Show. 3 hours talking about toys from the '60s all the way up to today. It's a lot of fun, and you can find me on X and YouTube. And I've been doing some late night streams, trying to get back into that when I can't sleep. And sometimes you may catch me falling asleep on stream while I'm playing a game. So if you see me run against a wall or something, or just running aimlessly in a game, I'm asleep. I've dozed off.
What game you playing?
That Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga collection. It's not as good as the old Lego games. It's really it's not good. Chris likes it. I don't, but I need to finish up all the episodes and then just bolt to something else. It's bad. They didn't even do the Battle of Geonosis in Attack of the Clones, man. I don't understand that. That was like a perfect level for a Lego game, and they didn't. They didn't even do the Battle of Geonosis. What the hell?
All right.
That's fine, Chris. You know, Shifty, I don't blame you because that game also made me want to fall asleep.
What
Yeah,
game?
yeah. The new Lego Star Wars that you said
You know
you
what?
liked, it's crap.
You guys need to start playing some men games, all right? Yeah, all right. Let's play some man games, not these kiddie 3-year-old Star Wars Lego games.
The Star Wars Legos game is awesome. I'm sorry, I don't
No,
disagree. I disagree with you guys.
Oh my
I like
God.
the original ones, and I like the new one.
I had to give
play a
up
wide
Rocket League.
range of stuff.
I'm joking because I played the Star Wars Lego games too, so I can't even say that.
The Batman ones, the
Yeah,
Indiana
the old ones are
Jones
good.
ones.
The Marvel.
What did you not like about the new ones?
I can't stand the Lego movies. That's
the
a waste
new
of
one.
time.
Wait, what, Danny?
They're
Lego movies?
Nope.
That's a waste of my
Oh
time.
man, those things are funny, bro.
Yeah.
Huh?
All right.
The Lego Batman where Han Solo and
Batman.
Harrison Ford them pull up on it. That shit was hilarious, bro. That Lego Batman is great. I love them. I love them.
yeah.
They're fun.
There's some comedy should stay off the big screen. That and
Don't say it.
What you call it? The one with
Don't say
Liam Neeson.
Oh, Naked Gun.
Naked Gun. No
Bro.
way. wasting my
You
money.
know what? I tried to watch some of that, and I don't know. I said it to Brian the other day. I'm like, I don't think that comedy kind of does it for me anymore.
Tried to tell you.
I don't think that comedy does it for me anymore. It wasn't that funny. So after 30 minutes, I was like, I'm done. And I love the first two.
The last
First three?
comedy, I think I
Yeah, the third one's all right.
Just like Happy Gilmore too. Didn't have the
I
same
haven't
magic.
watched it yet. I don't even feel like watching that.
Didn't have the same magic.
Yeah, I don't.
the
I don't care.
the last comedy I think I actually liked all the way was that one where Seth Rogen was the rent-a-cop, and that was like over 10 years ago. He was
Seth
a
Rogen
I'm
was
just-
a rent-a-cop.
I'm just gonna end this stream with this. I know everyone's excited about a Spaceballs 2, but I'm telling you right now, if a Blank Man 2 was ever confirmed, I will be
Preach.
there. I will be there
Preach.
day one, opening night.
Preach.
I will pay for the Blank Man popcorn bucket and cup.
Preach.
But-
Oh, me too. And I would send it to Danny too. I would send him the popcorn bucket too. 100%.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Where's
Right
my
now,
water boy
hashtag where's Blank Man 2?
Do not
Facts.
send me
Which
no
one?
blank man popcorn. Yeah, I do not want it. Do not
It
waste
would
your
come.
money.
You know what? Anzo would
Well-
buy it, and I would pay Anzo to get it overnighted.
Don't send me no blank man. Don't
Mhm.
send me no meteor man.
Meteor
Don't
Man.
send me no
Mhm.
Howard the Duck because you're wasting your money. What I will do is you send me that, I will do a live stream of me putting it in my fireplace.
Wow.
Why are you gonna do that, Danny? We're
Especially
showing
the-
you love.
Especially
Buying
that Howard the Duck. I'm telling you, don't send me no Howard the Duck. I will
I'm gonna
purposely
buy him. I'm gonna buy him a life-size Howard the Duck.
go ahead.
Oh, if I can find one down there, I'm gonna send it to you.
You will see me
you
urinate
gonna find that?
on YouTube on that.
All right, I do have to go. So
Yeah.
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 Good stream,
All right,
Oscar.
everybody.
Appreciate the invite.
Yes,
Thank you guys.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
no problem. That being said, this is the Oscillator signing out.
Peace.
It's